Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Nightmares Nightly. Back when I was a kid, there was a legend in my town about a clockmaker. Never stay out after midnight, or the clockmaker will get you. Parents would whisper, mostly to rowdy teenagers staying out past their curfew. It was said that he once was an eccentric old man who ran a clock shop in the heart of town. One fall day in 1945, he appeared out of nowhere. Nobody knew for sure where the clockmaker came from, but some speculated that he was from Germany. Some of the old-timers even went as far as to claim that he was a former Nazi who had performed terrible experiments on people during World War II and was forced to go into hiding as soon as the war ended. Nevertheless, there was one thing that the old-timers agreed on, and that was that he was an odd fellow. Although, as I stated, he appeared seemingly out of nowhere, his shop somehow flourished, sparking rumors that he was dabbling into the occult. All the old-timers would claim that his clocks were beautifully handcrafted, from the grandfather clocks, all the way down to the cuckoo clocks from wood never before seen by us country folks. Upon entering his shop, children and parents alike would gaze in wonder at the clock's intricate designs and all their quirky mechanisms. Anyway, where was I? Oh, as a result of his success, the clockmaker made several enemies, including one Bernie Toppler. Of course, not his real name. Now, old Bernie was the old clockmaker in town and was also very prosperous. That was, until the new clockmaker arrived. You see, Bernie had the distinguished honor of being the town drunk and was known to frequent the local bars at night and had a reputation for letting loose, so to speak, after one too many drinks. On one particular night, Bernie was at Bob's Tavern. After several drinks, all of his inhibitions went out the door, and he began to rant and rave at anybody who bothered to listen. Of course, nobody took him seriously at first. That was until a week later on Halloween night, 1963. On that fateful night in 1963, the local fire department and sheriff were called to a store fire, the clockmaker store, to be precise. Initially, the fire was blamed on rowdy teens hell-bent on causing mischief, but soon enough, the rumors began to float that Bernie and several other men were actually responsible for the fire. After the fire was extinguished, the sheriff and fire department began to swiftly look through the rubble and couldn't find the clockmaker's body anywhere. For several days after the fire, several of the sheriff's men were placed there to guard the place in case the clockmaker returned. He never did. Well, not alive at least. The next night, several of the men guarding the shop claimed that at around midnight, all of the clocks began to chime loudly. But here's the thing. Most of the clocks were too damaged from the fire and were no longer functional. Naturally, this scared the men, and they refused to go anywhere near the clockmaker's shop. The following week, several of the town's men died under mysterious circumstances, including Bernie Toppler. Although the clockmaker's body was never found, it was confirmed through evidence gathered and witness testimony that indeed Bernie and his henchmen were responsible for the clockmaker's demise. Now, did I mention that there is a large clock located in the town square that the clockmaker built in order to show his gratitude to the people of this town? It is this clock in which the legend of the clockmaker was born. For you see, a year after the clockmaker's disappearance, people began to report being attacked by a shadowy figure near the clock. Some even speculated that the shadowy figure might have been the clockmaker himself. We have a ritual here that on Halloween night, if you stand in front of the clock and say his name several times before the clock strikes midnight, he'll appear. It is also said that whoever participates in the ritual will die a week later. It's just a rumor, of course. But tonight is Halloween night, and I thought I saw a group of young people gathered near the clock. Just in case, I think I'll keep an eye on them. Thanks for listening, everybody, and if you like what I'm doing and want to hear more, hit that subscribe button for more Nightmares Nightly.